Hello everyone, welcome to our virtual lesson Form 2 Geography. I am Mr. Muriithi Samuel of Kiamutugu Boys in Kirinyaga County, and our topic today will be forestry. So I take this opportunity to welcome everyone, all our students wherever they are, for today's lesson. I want to give the topic objectives. By the end of the topic, the learner should be able to 1. Define forest and forestry. 2. Explain the factors that influence distribution and the types of natural forests. Discuss the significance of forests and forest products in Kenya. Identify and explain the problems facing forestry in Kenya. Explain ways of managing and conserving forests in Kenya. Then you compare and contrast softwood forests in Kenya and Canada. It's good to note that these objectives have derived them from your syllabus, and that is your course outline that you expected to know as it pertains to forestry, our topic in Form 2. So we move ahead. We have to be able to know how to define some terms. And term number 1 is forest. This is a continuous growth of trees and other growth covering a large tract of land. A continuous growth of trees and other growth covering a large tract of land. It is good to note that we don't start with the land, because land without the trees cannot be a forest. So our area of concerns becomes the trees. That's why we have begun by saying it is a continuous growth of trees and other growth covering a large tract of land. Then our term number 2 is forestry. The science of planting, caring or managing and exploitation of forests and forest resources. It is the science of planting, caring or managing and exploitation of forests and forest resources. Then the other term that we need to know is afforestation. This is the planting of trees in an area which has had no forests or trees, or simply establishment of new forests. Then we have reforestation. This is the planting of trees in an area where they have been cut down. Planting of trees in an area where they have been cut down. At that juncture, you allow me to go straight to the types of forests. And in the types of forest, we have only 2 main types of forests. A forest is either natural or planted. So our category number 1, we have the natural forests. They are composed of trees growing purely on their own without human or animal interference. Then planted or cultivated forests is our second category. Trees, these are trees that grows under care of human beings. They grow under care of human beings. Then under the same categories we have other classifications, because a natural forest can either be indigenous or an exotic forest. And therefore we have that other categories or other classifications. 1, we have indigenous forest. They are composed of trees that are native to a country or region, and they grow on their own. They are composed of trees that are native to a country or region, and they grow on their own. And then we have exotic forests. They are composed of trees that are alien to a country and are introduced through seeds or seedlings from other countries. So for exotic forests, these are simply imported trees from other regions, from other countries. They have been introduced to a country. So far so good. I have displayed an image. This image shows an example of a planted forest. And from the photograph displayed, you can be able to see some very specific characteristics of such a forest. 1, you can be able to see that trees are of the same species. The other one is that the trees from your image, They are almost of the same size, meaning they were planted at the same time. And then the trees have, there is little or no undergrowth from what you can see from your image. There is little or no undergrowth. And then you can be able to see that the trees appear or occur in columns. Yeah, we have rows. These trees have been planted according to some lines. Then the trees are occurring in pure stands. The trees are occurring in pure stands. That is just an example, just to help you understand more on the planted or cultivated forest. You can even see there is a fence in your foreground. There is a fence to show that somebody is seriously taking care of the forest. Next are the images that I've displayed. And of course, the two photographs shows images of natural forests. Of course, the image one is to show you exactly what is the truth in the ground. You can be able to see that the trees here, they have bulbous roots. You can see we have a lot of undergrowth. In our second image, you can be able to see that the trees are of different sizes. They are of different species. They are not occurring in pure stands. In between the trees, we have a lot of thick undergrowth, and that clearly gives you the difference between the planted and the natural forests. So far so good. We now go to the classification of natural forests. The classifications of natural forests. And the natural forests are mainly classified into those four areas. We have the four types. We have the tropical hardwood forests. We have the temperate hardwood forests. We have the coniferous forests, also called the temperate softwood. We also have the montane forests. So we begin with the tropical hardwood forests. They include the equatorial and monsoon forests. They are found within the tropics. That simply means they are found around the equatorial region. That region that is between the Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Cancer. That's the area that we call the tropics, or the equatorial region. Then the three species include the ebony, the ironwood, the mahogany, rosewood. In Kenya, they include Aragon teak, the camphor, the mvuli, Aragon olive, and the mangrove forests. Then number two, we have the temperate hardwood forests. They include the temperate evergreen and the temperate deciduous forests. They are located in the mid-latitude regions like the Southeast Australia. These mid-latitude regions like the Southeast Australia, the areas of New Zealand, areas of the eastern USA, China, Korea, and Japan. The three species includes the eucalyptus, the silver oak, the ironwood, the blackwood, the birch, and the hickory, etc. Then we have coniferous forests. They are also called temperate softwoods, and are widespread in North America. They include three species like the Douglas fir, the red spruce, the larch, the hemlock, and the kauri pine. Montane forests is the fourth one, the fourth category or the fourth classification. This type of forest, of course, depends on the altitude and the latitude where the mountains occur. The tropical rainforests are made up of indigenous tree species. The temperate montane forests may be natural, semi-natural, or planted. In Kenya, the forest includes hardwoods like Aragon olive, the meru oak, the mvuli, the Aragon olive, camphor, where the softwoods include the bamboo, the cinder, the African pencil, and the podocarpus. The planted forests include the exotic trees, which are either hardwoods, like the eucalyptus, or softwoods, like the pines and the cypress. That is it for the classification of the natural forests. Now, I want you to observe keenly on the map that I have been able to display in your screen. Of course, this is the map of Kenya, showing some forested areas. And of course, it was in the form of a question. You can be able to see the map of Kenya. You can be able to see